CatBot. So the first thing to do is to start to organize our model by creating this series of geometric sets that I mentioned earlier. So I'll go to floor 1 first. Switch to generative shape design workbench, insert geometric set, and I'll put the first analytical set into the first floor geometric set. And like I said before, the syntax, the spacing, and the capitalization are all extremely important. So you want to put it in exactly this way. And if you ever have any doubts, you can go back to this text file and I'll show you exactly how to input those names. So here I have analytical set, and we want to also go into reorder children and put that set at the very beginning of our geometric set, because as CatBot is looking through your file, it will look for this at the top of every single geometric set in your model. And then we also want to go into here and create 3 more geometric sets within the analytical set, and we call those points. Copy and paste that back in here. The second one will be lines. Paste another one, and this will be called plates. So again, we want this structure in the top of every single geometric set. So while we're here, I'm just going to copy and paste this into each geometric set. And then I also want to go in and reorder it so that that analytical set is at the top of each geometric set. Okay, so as soon as we've done that, we can start putting some of this core geometry into the proper sets. Like I said, I have these points that are defined within each floor geometric set that I want to use as point geometry with CatBot. So I need to actually put them into the points geometric folder. To do that, I just go to the objects and change geometric set and actually put them in there. And then I'm going to do that for the other 3 floors as well. So I find the points, change geometric set, and put them into the points. Okay, so next thing I want to do with the points is rename them according to the naming conventions that are laid out in this text file. You can see here there's a specific syntax for how you should name each point, and then they're also named sequentially, and then they have a designation, either fixed or free, depending on their loading condition. So in this case, the first 3 points in the geometric set are at the ground level, so I want to denote those as fixed. So I'll go into here, the properties, and rename it capital P T1 underscore fixed. So that's my first point. And then I'll go through, I can copy and paste that, and go through and rename all the other points. And I want to name them sequentially from the very top of your model all the way down. And now here, even the next set of points, even though they're in the new geometric set, I want to keep naming them sequentially starting from 4. And this is super crucial with CatBot, that all the points in your models, they have to be called sequentially from the very top of your structure all the way down, because CatBot will physically open your Catia file, look through your tree in order, and put all these points into its list. And if they're not named sequentially, it will mess up. With the other elements, it's not such a big deal. With lines and plates, you still want to name them sequentially just to make it easier, but they don't have to be to work. But with points, they do. So with this next one, if I go to properties, I want to call it 0.5, and since now these are above ground level, I want to change the loading condition to free, and this will basically allow them to deflect in the model. Okay, so I'm going to go through the rest of these and rename them. And again, I'll maintain the sequential order as I go down the model. So the next one will be 0.9. 0.10. And so on until the last one, 0.12. And you can see here, I split them up into 3 geometric sets. I could alternatively put all the points into one geometric set. It doesn't really matter. This has more to do with how my model is organized by floors. But the thing that has to be done is all of them have to be in a point subset of an analytical set that's a subset of a main geometric set. So that has to be in each model, but how you break them up is completely up to you, as long as they're named sequentially down the line. And this will seem tedious and very specific, but it needs to be that way so that CatBot can actually read your geometry and only take the geometry that you want it to test, because you never want to test the whole model. You only want to test these specific pieces of the structure. Okay, so the next thing we'll do to finish up and putting the core geometry into a testable format is to go through the perimeter plates. The core plates here that are defined as polylines, and we want to make those into shear panels. So if we go back to our text file, we'll see here are our plate types, which are polylines, and here's the shear loading panel. So we want to put all those panels into a plates subfolder, and we all want to also follow this naming convention and name them in order. So I'm going to do that right now. I have the first floor's core plates. Go to change geometric set and put them under the plates subfolder there. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the second floor. And then I want to go through and rename them. So if you forgot what the naming convention is, again, you can go back to here. You can copy and paste this. Call plate 1, okay. And then go down and name them in order. Again, at this point, when you're not dealing with points, the sequential numbering doesn't matter too much, but you still want to name it something that makes sense, because then it'll be easier to check your results. So I'm just going to name these going down. Okay, so as soon as we've done that, we've set up our whole core geometry, and now when CatBot sees the file, it'll know to put all the points as nodes, fixed and free, and also to make these polylines into shear panels representing the walls of the core. And the next thing we're going to do is to go through the geometry that was generated through the knowledge pattern and also rename it, put into proper categories.